Talk MMA. I'm your host, UTICA, undeniably the illest cat around, aka Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaires.
What's good? It's your boy Guaranteed. It's Mr. Never Miss, Mr. Moneymaker, Mr. Dollar Slayer. Who we got on the other side of that fucking couch?
You know what it is. It's RayBuck. It's Chocolate Jordan. It is the Parlay God. It is Mr. Still wins 7-5. May not have ended up on the tracker, but I was right. One win away. One win away, y'all.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. You're absolutely right. But something I will say. If anybody in the chat wants to name how many times I've gone negative in a card in the last year, they're more than welcome to. Go ahead and pick the episode because I doubt it's going to be fucking easy for you.
All right, y'all. Well, we are here post I Poke Gate UFC 321 in more humbler settings. We got a fight night card taking place at the Apex, headlined by a banger of a featherweight fight. We got Steve Garcia coming in up against David Onama. I believe that this fight card, as it stands, is 13 bouts. Hopefully, between tomorrow's weigh-in and when everybody is set to step into the cage Saturday afternoon around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, there won't be any fights, that have fallen out, and we'll have a full 13 fight card ahead of us. So let's start things off in the women's strawweight division. We got Talita Alencar going up against Ariane Carnelosi. We got Alencar coming in. Oh, I did not change up the lineup. That's great. Okay, cool. So we got Alencar coming in 2-1 in the UFC, 6-1 with one draw overall, and 3-1 with that one draw in their last 5 bouts. We got Carnelosi. They are 3-2 in the UFC, 15-3 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. I'm gonna be going with Alencar on this one by either decision or submission. Alencar is going to be the older of the two by 3 years, smaller in stature, a grappler primarily, but she definitely has shown that she's not afraid to throw the hands. I would say they're going to look to pressure, close the distance, and make this messy, but they definitely are going to want to stay measured with their output. I would say they would likely want to lean into wherever it is they find the advantage as the fight goes, but in my opinion, primarily that's probably going to take place on the ground. Carnelosi is the younger and bigger of the two, somewhat well-rounded, and definitely looks intimidating. Like their, presence, and how they're built, they definitely look like a monster. But at the same time, what I've noticed is they don't really necessarily like to take damage in fights. And they sometimes don't necessarily look all the way locked in and or just tend to lose confidence when they're not able to control the fight or they start taking a little bit of punishment. But if they're dialed in and they're ready to go, then, they definitely can be a threat. I just don't see that happening, especially with them coming off a pretty lengthy layoff since their last bout. I think it's like a year or so plus since they've been in the cage. So, there's that going up against them as well. So ultimately, I had to go with Alencar. Who we got, y'all?
I'm going with Carnelosi. There's only one chick in this fight that doesn't have a knockout or a TKO on their record. I feel like Carnelosi, with her being the more aggressive fighter, she does have she's a low IQ fighter, but she's like, I don't know, she's kind of like I don't know what you would call she's like I don't know what you would call somebody who just like walk people down. You know what I mean? She doesn't have a whole lot of. She has some skill set because she has a few finishes for submissions on the ground, but she's mainly gone against fighters to where like she got her wins off of her TKOs. So if she can't knock you out, she can't put you out. I feel like Alencar, with her having no TKOs or anything on her record, she has like maybe one way of finishing this, Mm-hmm. So I don't know. For me, it's a bigger risk to go with her than it would for Carnelosi. So I'm taking Carnelosi. I don't have a decision. I'm thinking to probably go to a decision if she can't knock her out. But yeah, with all that muscle, it's questionable gas tank. Other than that, Alan Lacar's chin's gonna be taken.
Great pick, bro. Not the one next to me, the one on the other side of the one.
Hey, you're gonna be saying that a
No
lot
hating.
tonight.
Hey, no hating. No
I'm
hating.
just letting y'all know. Let's go ahead and just put it out there. You're gonna feel that way a lot.
Well, we're gonna go with Carnelosi. We're gonna go with Carnelosi for quite a few different reasons. She's the younger fighter. She's the taller fighter. She's the longer fighter. She's got the better strength of resume of schedule. You know what I mean? As far as people that she's beat, she is a knockout artist. She does have a sub, which means she does have some grappling. Do I think that Ankar may possibly have a little bit more than her? Yes, but she's going to have to take damage to get in those takedowns, and that's going to be the problem. I think there isn't a questionable Gauss tank with Canelosi, just because she does not have many wins that go to decision. She is primarily a stand-up fighter, but I do think she's going to give Alencar the beats by Dre.
I feel you.
Excellent pick, Ray.
Thank you.
Right on. Shouts out Cesar Marin in the chat.
What's up, Cesar?
Let's go. Moving on to the second bout on this card, we have a men's welterweight matchup. We have Phil Rowe going up against Seok Hyun Ko. We got Rowe coming in. They are 4-3 in the UFC, 11-5 overall, and are 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. We got Ko coming in. They are 1-0 in the UFC, 12-2 overall, and are currently riding a 5-fight win streak. I went with Ko in this one by decision or KO, or Ko, decision or Ko. They're going to be the younger and smaller of the two, well-rounded, and what really put me over the top in this one is their display of grappling in their last matchup against Oban Elliott, where they basically completely owned that fool. It was actually frustrating to watch because I was so high on Oban Elliott to just watch a guy that I had never heard of just come in and own him, especially in the area I thought that he would have the edge in. That really bothered me, but it gave me something to look forward to for Ko's next time out. Despite them not having any subs, like I said, look out for that grappling to be an X factor in this matchup. They're going to have good cardio because of that sub ability. I would just say that it'd be in their best interest to close distance, stay measured though in their approach the same way they did in their last bout. Not do anything overly exerting. Just make sure that you maintain the control. Eventually, if they can get this fight to the ground and control Rowe, then they basically can ride this one out to a decision unless a finish opens itself up. Rowe's going to be the older of the two by 3 years and significantly bigger in height and reach advantage. Well-rounded in their skill set, but most likely is going to lean into their striking for this fight. They need to use their length and keep this fight at distance. Piece up Ko as long as possible on the feet to a decision or until the finish opens itself up. But ultimately, I think cardio is going to be the X factor in this one. Whether it's Rowe being able to fight off takedowns for 3 rounds, or if it's Ko just repeatedly, going for the takedown and or just mixing it up efficiently enough to keep Rowe on his toes the entire time. Yeah, I'm going with Ko in this one. Who we got, fellas?
I'm taking Rowe. I feel like Phil Rowe being him, he has a better chance of getting a finish if this does come to a finish. He has impeccable striking. He has good submission, good takedown defense. I feel Ko has had some easy opponents. Not calling Oban Elliott an easy. Yeah, I am calling an easy fucking fight. You know what I mean? I feel like.
Wow, work there. Hey.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
I just feel like Phil Rowe's just on another level. He's on a come up, and I feel like, though he is the bigger fighter. He's probably going to have the power in his hands, and I feel like he's
Got
going
a
to.
9.5-inch reach advantage.
Whoa, bro, you're going way far different. Hey, the kids are up. The kids are up.
Christ.
But yeah, I'm taking Phil Rowe for the win. Who you got over there, Ray?
I think Darren T is going to be 2-0 starting the fight. That's what I believe. So I believe in Phil Rowe. I bet he's going to row this boat to the finish. Phil Rowe is, again, like he said, 5 inches taller, 9.5 reach advantage.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
9-5.
Oh, man, no, bro, no, we're not doing that bullshit. Anyway,
Hey, that started here.
I gotta listen to those cats at work talk about that fucking
6'7"?
6'7" nonsense, bro, and I'm like, y'all, we are not the same, man. Like,
No.
I was singing fucking Tupac at that age, you're not saying 6'7". Like,
No
we're
comment on
talking
my
about the
end
clip we
because
came.
I realize that things like that are my understandings of like where I'm at with my age and just who I am as a person. So
It moves you to have kids.
so,
You have to understand it. You know what I mean?
so I'm like I just don't even pay attention to it, as if it don't exist.
I agree. But back to the Fresh Prince, Phil Rowe. I think he's just gonna, you know what I mean, Uncle Phil this cat fucking Co, and you know what I mean, son him up a little bit. They are both strikers primarily. I think you are right that Co has a little bit better submission ability. I think the biggest X factor here is, does Co play it slow and just try to take him to the decision win? If he does, that's his route to victory. If Phil Rowe kind of just realizes that he doesn't have the gas tank that Co has and he needs to get it done, and he just gets it done, then he's got an easy win.
He's got to stuff some takedowns in order to establish Cody respect him.
9.5 inches, bro. He's just got to put his hand out like a baby brother, you know what I mean? Like the older brother to the baby brother.
I know, but it's a guy that much longer than the other fighter. I feel like he has Cole has better access to Rowe's legs for sure.
That can be true, but you just need to make him not want to do that.
Yeah, basically he has to make him pay on every entry, and then be able to either stuff the takedown or get up immediately, But I'm just saying, I seen Cole basically roll with Elliott for 3 rounds, and he never was at the disadvantage the entire time. Right. Does that say more about Elliott than it does about Cole, or vice versa? I don't know. But I guess being that Rowe is the next man up after a win, they must see something in the matchmaking that, could be exploited. So
is it so outrageous to think that Rowe would be able to, if he goes shoot for his legs, the height advantage, Rowe could pretty much just jump over the motherfucker every time he shoots for his legs?
Pretty much.
He could. I mean, it literally, the way they're both built, it could very well look like that. It's wild.
Especially if Cole can't reach up and even grab his legs when he jumps over him.
I mean, so.
That'd be some wild shit.
Well, so 2 fights in a row. Friggin', I got my bros on opposite ends of where I'm at in the spectrum. Real quick, I just want to send a shout out to Twan Lorenzo in the chat. He said, let's break the books this weekend. This is a money card. There will be blood. Let's fucking go.
Hey, tell him thank you for buying us a coffee.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the buy me a coffee and just all the support and weekly, viewership. Much love. And Cesar Marin said, yes, bro, we are old. And he is right.
Let me tell you how I just
we ain't, but we is, but we ain't.
Let me tell you how I figured out I'm old now. I was literally, before you guys showed up to the house, I was playing Grand Theft Auto, right? And, kind of towards the end, you know what I mean? Spoiler alert, but, you know what I mean? It's an old-ass game. The main character, Michael, right? I'm older than that dude, was the way they were depicting him. You know what I mean? They were depicting him at like 40 years old, and I'm 41 years old, bro. Like, I'm fucking old, bro.
Yeah, bro, you should have had like fucking 5 heists under your belt at this point. What are you doing?
Well, in the game, I do.
You know what I mean? You should have fucking had 5 heists and like already changed your identity a few times over, bro. What are you doing?
Man. That's why I got to win these cards. Get that Beverly Hills mansion.
All right, y'all. Yes, indeed. Moving on to the third fight on this card, we have a women's strawweight matchup. We got Montserrat Conejo Ruiz going up against Alice Ardalian. We have, let's see here, Ruiz coming in 1-3 in the UFC, 10-4 overall, and are 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. We got Ardalian going 1-2 in the UFC, 10-7 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. I'm going to be going with Ardalian in this one. I almost at first went with Ruiz, but ultimately I went with Ardalian by decision or KO. They're going to be the slightly older of the two by a year, bigger in stature, well-rounded, and they're definitely going to want to look to close the distance and just make this fight messy. They need to be measured with their output and avoid grappling if possible, and just piece up Ruiz and outdog him for fucking 3 rounds. That's one thing I've noticed with Ardalian. Literally, they will literally get, pelted up fucking for a full 15 minutes and still just keep marching forward. If they're able to exercise a little bit better defense, not absorb as much punishment, store some of that energy for the later rounds to really put cement that decision victory instead of, keeping it close like a lot of their fights have been. They should be able to, get this one done by decision. Ruiz is going to be the slightly younger of the two and smaller, somewhat well-rounded in their skill set, but definitely a grappler primarily. They need to take advantage of Ardalian's pressure and then marching forward to be able to just secure solid takedowns and just look to control and wear on Ardalian's gas tank and just get the W. They need to avoid long-standing exchanges, and this is another one where this is somebody coming off of a long layoff. So, we did have Mizuki Inoue come in and fucking make Amarim look fucking like a clown after literally being out for 2 years. She looked like she had just fought 3 months ago, the way she did Amarim. So, I can't let the layoff play too much of a factor, but ultimately it did add into me having to pick Ardalian, who's been the more active of the two. So that's who I'm going with, but who we got, y'all?
I'm taking Ardalian. Is that how you say her name?
That's what I've heard them say. I thought it was Ardaline, but
That's what I thought.
I've heard them say it when they announce her name, Ardalian. I'm like, all right.
I feel like there'd be like an O in there.
Romanian, So.
Be an O in there. Dalian, Leon. Any whoosies. I'm taking Dalian. I feel like she has more of a chance at getting the finish. She has 4 subs and 4 knockouts. I'll tell you what I don't like about Ruiz. She has like 5 decisions with 2 TKOs on her, which tells me that she has a high output at times, but not the power to finish the job. And, it kind of worries me against a fighter like Dalian because she's very experienced. She has a lot of, she's just one of those hard grit fighters. And I feel like, for the fight that's going to be going towards, it's going to benefit her more to stand in that phone booth than it's going to benefit Ruiz. And, that's just how I feel about it. What you think, Ray?
I think this is Cameron's first dub of the night. Ardalian for the win. She is the more experienced fighter. She is the fighter that's not on a 2-year layoff. She is the fighter that's 3 inches taller. She is the fighter with 1-inch reach advantage. And, Cornell has not only had 2 years off. What? Cornell?
Corneo.
I don't know, Brad.
Cornell.
The fact that you picked that
Ruiz.
Ruiz makes me
We'll call it Ruiz then. Fine. Ruiz it is. Ruiz is 0-3 in her last 3 fights. So obviously she has lost all of her confidence. And then in addition to that, she hasn't been back in the ring for 2 years. So when she was in the ring, she was fucking dog shit. And now she's fucking back in the ring after a 2-year layoff, which is going to make her also hot garbage. That being said, Alice Ardalian, even though I want to call her Ardaline.
Good pick, Ray. I like your breakdown. I like the, That was real intricate the way you put together with all the
You know what I mean? Words,
measurements and shit.
I'm a real wordsmith, bro.
Oh, for sure. I just like because it gives me a visual like what you're looking at. No Diddy.
What I will say though is Ardeline is the undisputed champion of fucking social media content. If you haven't checked out her Instagram, you are missing out. That's all I'm saying. That shit is hella funny. Moving on to a fight that I am surprised is buried as low as it is on the prelims. We got a women's bantamweight matchup between Ketlin Vieira going up against Norma Dumont. We got Vieira coming in 9-4 in the UFC, 15-4 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. We got Dumont coming in. They are 8-2 in the UFC, 12-2 overall, and are currently riding a 5-fight win streak. I'm going to be going with Dumont in this one by decision. They're going to be the slightly older of the two by a year, smaller in stature, but well-rounded overall, and primarily just a decision machine, which means that, you know, she got grit and she also has the cardio to back it up. So really, though, she just fights clean fights, and that's what she needs to do here. Keep it a distance, not allow Vieira to put their back up against the cage. And they just need to look to out-volume them to a decision unless some type of finish opens itself up. Vieira is going to be the slightly younger of the two, well-rounded in her skill set, but they typically like to close the distance and trap their opponents up against the cage, get them in the clinch up against there, and just, you know, make it a dirty fight from there. They try to use the control time to their advantage, and that's kind of the knock on them sometimes is that they'll put you up against the cage, but they don't really do nothing with it after that. And I think now with what we've been seeing here lately, that may be something she might want to, stray away from and, at least add some volume to her game plan because, we seen just this past week, just having control of somebody doesn't mean shit, sometimes. Yeah, no, real shit. The lay and pray is seeing it's the end of its days. So yeah, if they can get them up against the cage, then it'll be a typical Ketlin Vieira matchup. But they're gonna have to avoid chasing Dumont around the cage because Dumont is, gonna move around, pick her shots, and just like I said, fight a clean fight. So, if Vieira isn't able to trap them and get them, in the clinch, then it could be a long night for him. Dumont is just the better fighter in my opinion, and just cleaner. So I'm gonna go with her. Who we got, y'all?
I'm taking Ketlin Vieira. I just feel like she has more routes to victory, and I feel like she's the dog-ear fighter. Norma Dumont hasn't knocked anybody out with her hands. She's got 2 subs. Ketlin Vieira has 4. You know what I mean? As far as for subs on the ground, but as far as decisions, Vieira has a high output as well, I guess you would say, and has a decent gas tank because any of these fighters that win a lot of their fights from decisions tells you that they go to the end, willing to withstand the end of the fight. And that just, to me, is just, I don't know, it just shows me the mind of the fighter, you know what I mean? And both of these fighters, because it could really go either way. Both of them have really good gas tanks. Both of them are looking to go all the way through 3 rounds, no fucking problem. But I feel like Vieira poses a threat of finishing this fight a little bit easier than Norma would. I feel like Dumont's gonna, like you said, she's gonna run and try to be a tactician. She's not a counter striker, but I feel like that's what her really end game would have to be to get through Ketlin, because Ketlin hits harder. Her boxing's gonna be a little bit more crisp. I just feel like disadvantage-wise, it's just maybe size. She might be a little bit slower than Dumont. Dumont's going to be in and out of there and trying to be tactful. Nonetheless, it's going to be a good fight. I think Vieira's going to finish her before that comes to that.
Vieira for the win. Why do I say Vieira for the win? Vieira for the win because she is able to punch and knock a person out. Not that she does it very often, but she's also able to go to the distance as well as Dumont. So I don't think there's a worry about her gassing out, even though she's going to be the more active fighter. I think Dumont's grappling is super heads and shoulders above Vieira. Absolutely not. I think they're pretty even in that standpoint as well. That being said, she has an inch on height, an inch in reach. Now, this is the one thing that worries me about Caitlin Vieira is her last fight was at 145 pounds, and she's going to be moving down 10 pounds to 135. Does she show up to this fight depleted? That is the one thing that scares me about this bout.
I want to say, though, if I'm correct, her last fight, I believe, was against Macy Chasson. And Chasson came in overweight, so they just fucking bumped it up to 145 pounds. So it's not technically that she fights at featherweight. It's just that for that one-off.
Well,
So I get what you're saying. She still is technically having to come down 10 pounds from her last fight. But I'm just saying that this isn't like her making a debut at bantamweight or like a comeback or anything. It's just, you know what I mean?
you are correct because there is no women's 145-pound division. There used to be.
Yeah.
And that's where
Amanda put that to rest, bro.
Kayla Harrison should probably be, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But then she'd be laying bitches out. So that being said, we're going with Caitlin Vieira. You know what I mean? I just hope she didn't get comfortable at that weight is my one worry.
Yeah.
I'm sure she probably could have made weight because she is a professional. I don't know of any times where she's missed. That being said, I just think she has more routes to victory. She's going to have more volume. She's going to have more power. And she has the ability to take it all the way to the end, which that's Dumont's way to win. So, Vieira for the win.
For sure. Moving on, folks. Let me find this one. All right, moving on to a men's middleweight matchup. We have Dante Johnson going up against Cedricus Dumas. We got Johnson making their UFC debut, 6-0 overall. You got Dumas coming in 3-3 with 1 no contest in the UFC, 10-3 with that 1 no contest overall, and are 2-2 with that 1 no contest in their last 5 bouts. I am going to be going with Dumas in this one by decision or sub. They're going to be the older of the two by 4 years, bigger in stature, well-rounded. At least, they're primarily a striker, but I've seen them bout by bout. Like, you see them actually working on the grappling to become more of a well-rounded fighter. So I'm gonna give them their well-roundedness, especially at least in this bout. They would want. I feel like they want to look to mix it up, be measured in their approach and output, fight at distance, keep this one on the feet, and possibly get it to the ground once they've had time to wear on Johnson, which is. To a decision.
Wow.
Or until, a finish opens up. Johnson is going to be younger and smaller of the two, although having fought at heavier weights. This is actually his debut at middleweight in the entirety of his career. This dude actually started out his career fighting at heavyweight and then has been He literally actually won his Dana White Contender Series contract in the heavyweight division and has fought, as light as middleweight at light heavyweight. But this will be the first time he's fought like under 200 pounds in his career. So that's just something to note. He's a power striker with all their wins coming by KO. Like I said, making their debut at middleweight, even though they won their contract in a heavyweight bout. And, they're just going to want to look to close distance, land early and effectively, and just avoid that grappling with Dumas if possible. And they should be able to get this done quick, if anything. But I am ultimately going with Dumas just because of their UFC experience and their ability to somewhat grapple, to possibly, neutralize that offense and at least slow the fight down for themselves. I'm going to be going with Dumas. Hopefully his fucking junk has healed up since his last time out because, he got the Kevin Holland treatment and he called the fight like Tom Aspinall. He didn't fucking allow Mergliata to let him get beat the fuck up for another 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going with Dumas. Who we got, y'all?
I'm going with Dante Johnson. Let me tell you about Cedricus Dumas. He's very talented, okay? But he has the fucking attention span of a squirrel. This dude can't keep his fucking head together. He doesn't stay out of trouble. And when I tell you, across the ring, Dante Johnson is a fucking killer. Every single fight he's finished, he's done with the TKO. So he's in there going to finish. He's going in there to fight Dumas at his own, beat him at his own game. Pretty much go with the technical and the striking. I just don't feel like Dumas, whenever he's fighting these lower IQ fighters or he's getting the best of them, he looks really good in there because he's, he is a talented fighter. But when you put him up against these guys who test his fucking, his mental, break, I don't know. I just don't feel like he ever goes in there I say a full camp, like mentally ready through a full camp. He's always got some bullshit going on the side. Like he can never fucking, and that's going to keep him from holding back because everything else, skill wise, he's a really good fighter, but he has a lot of quit in him because he has so much shit going on his off life to where he can't really put focus and turn himself into this, impeccable force that's on the uprise. He's already shown that he can't, when it comes to fighting skilled fighters, it's hit and miss. Some nights he shows up and some nights he doesn't. We already have a fucking Kevin Holland. What do you think, Ray?
I think that was a great breakdown. The fact is Cedricus Dumas, you've got to eat, sleep, breathe MMA. The only that's a last generation thing, unless your name is John Jones, right? He's the only one who can just get in trouble constantly and fucking pop in the ring and beat the fuck out of you and then go back out and do some cocaine.
Fight on the white card.
That being said, Dante Johnson, hasn't shown me anything bad yet. All he's shown me is fucking knockouts. I love knockouts. You know what I mean? Generally, the younger fighter wins. You know what I mean? Generally, this is the one knock, or the two knocks, though, is he is a much shorter fighter. He has much shorter of a reach. That doesn't worry me as much as it should. Because he was at a heavyweight contention at that height. So he's fighting dudes that are way taller than him, with way more reach than him, and apparently it has not affected him one bit. We're talking
Dante
about
Johnson's going to want to be in that phone booth. That's the difference between these two fighters.
Exactly.
Dumbass is not.
Yes. So we're talking about a fighter that's literally 1 inch taller than me who was fighting at heavyweight, which is crazy. And now I think he's getting down to a weight that, we've never seen him tested at it, but it's probably more of a natural body weight for fighting. Means he's going to be lean, means he's going to be, just completely cut up, and hopefully his cardio, hangs in there. Or hopefully he doesn't even have to use his cardio. Hopefully this is a first rounder. When we just call it a night, I get my money, and we move on to the next one, because so far I'm winning this card.
You guys are fucking like 5 for 5 right now on this so far.
Hey, bro, and you know what's funny?
We never seen this kind of unity before.
I swear this wasn't. We didn't talk or anything.
We didn't talk at all about these fights before this.
Yeah, this has gone off-putting. I don't know what's going on.
He's like, I was looking over at his paper and I'm looking at mine. I'm like.
I submitted our picks last night to the tracker and I didn't see this much fucking comparison. And now I'm like watching y'all go fight for fight. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I'm about to either lose really fucking bad or I'm gonna be the saving grace of the channel right now. All right, y'all. Moving on to a men's bantamweight matchup. We have Timmy Kuamba going up against Chang Ho Lee. We got Timmy Kuamba coming in 1-2 in the UFC, 9-3 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. We got Chang Ho Lee coming in 2-0 in the UFC, 11-1 overall, and are currently riding a 5-fight win streak. I'm going to be going with Ho Lee by either decision or KO. They're going to be the older of the two by 5 years. smaller in stature, but well-rounded in skill set. Definitely should look to close the distance, mix it up, and get the fight against the cage or down to the ground unless they're able to find an advantage on the feet. Definitely just need to stay measured with their approach and output and avoid getting into the pocket with Kuamba and just getting caught. Kuamba's going to be the younger and bigger of the two, a striker primarily who should look to just keep this fight at distance as well. But they're going to want to stay measured with their approach and output and possibly point fight to victory. Definitely should just avoid grappling altogether with Ho Lee to give them less routes to victory. And they are coming down in weight for this fight. They've been fighting primarily at featherweight this entire time at 145 pounds, so this will actually be their debut at 135 too. I think going through their record, I didn't see any bouts at bantamweight prior, so this will be a debut of sorts for them as well at 135. So it's either they're going to be depleted because they had to cut that extra 10 pounds, or that extra 10 pounds is going to make them lighter, faster, and just a better version of themselves. But ultimately, I am going with Ho Lee. Who we got, y'all?
I'm taking Timmy Kuamba. I'm sorry. I can't fuck with these Asian dudes, you know what I'm saying? They make great fucking action figures, you know what I mean? Because their muscles are all fucking perfect and shit. But when it comes to fucking every single one I believed in just let me down. I have nobody to look up to as far as from that community. I usually like some of those fighters. I don't feel like Kuamba. I feel like Kuamba has less quit in him. You know what I mean? He's a dog fighter. Chang, Loho, he has a decent resume himself. I just don't feel. I just feel like he's going to probably blow his wad. Kuamba has a lot of decisions, which tells me that he's willing to go to the end and have the higher output. I don't see that many, as many on Loho's resume. But I got Timmy Kuamba. Who you got, Ray?
I got Timmy Twilight putting that hoe to sleep.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Timmy Twilight, 26 years old. Timmy Twilight, not a road to UFC winner. Timmy Twilight actually been in the UFC for a bit. What are we talking about? Why are we worried about a road to UFC dude even coming up? There's only like one I can think of that's ever really done good in the UFC. You know what I mean? As far as on the men's side of shit.
I'm telling you, Chang Yu has a fucking ass whipping coming for him.
My man's got the longer reach. He's taller.
Real quick, salute. I just want to send a mad shout out to RayBuck real quick, because you've managed to keep it pretty politically correct with this fucking aspect of things. And Darren T just fucking kicked the door down, bruh. So, hey, from going forward, bro, I just say what's on your mind, man.
I'm just saying, I do share your same sentiments. They've just never really showed me anything. They've never really won me any money. I think there's one that has, done really well, and I can't think of who that particular fighter is. But that being said, for the most part,
I want to say I don't know what the first two names are, but I believe his last name is Yu. And he's a road to UFC dude that's been killing it.
yes, I agree. There is one.
Me liking Ray? You liking Ray, or you liking?
Just like you as in like, hey, you.
Oh, okay.
Over there.
Wow.
So me.
Yo, real quick. Wait, did you pick somebody?
I picked Timmy Twilight to
there
put
you
that
go.
hoe
There
to
you
sleep,
go.
bro.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on.
Real quick, shouts out to John Dong, 4754 in the chat.
He's gonna tell us how he feels for sure.
Who would win Steve Garcia or John Silva? That may be one we see, down the road, depending on how this main event goes, sooner than later. Yeah.
Sean Silva?
Yep. I think that, I don't know actually who would win in that, but that's a fucking banger. And
Sean Silva just got the fucking shit smacked out of him?
yeah, the one, against Diego Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a great fight considering if Garcia can get this one, he could very well see himself matched up with Silva down the line. Damn. Shouts out John Dong.
Bro.
Shouts out my guy and fucking picker extraordinaire on the tracker this past weekend. Cash Cole in the building. Shouts out Fight Bloodline. Make sure you go subscribe to them.
Also, check them out tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll be doing their live. You guys are also doing it at 7:30. Is that right, Cash?
Something like that.
Check them out.
Shouts out Be Ready 303. All right, y'all. Moving on to a light heavyweight matchup on this card. We have Kevin Christian going up against Billy Elicana. We got Christian coming in, making their UFC debut, 9-2 overall, and are currently riding a 6-fight win streak. We got Elicana coming in, 1-1 in the UFC, 8-2 overall, and are currently 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. My pick is going to be with Christian by either sub or KO. They're going to be the bigger of the two fighters with a significant reach advantage. A grappler with some hands, and definitely in this bout they should look to, close the distance, mix it up a little, and eventually, secure some solid takedowns and gain control of Elicana or open up a finish in the process. Their cardio could be a concern, being that they haven't went to decision much, so they definitely got to stay measured with their approach. But also, I would say, this is your UFC debut. Go out there and put a pin on that shit. So I would say they definitely need to be the aggressor in this fight and try to look to finish it rather than go to the cards. Elicana is going to be the smaller and less rangy of the two. Somewhat well-rounded in their skill set. Definitely should look to keep this fight at distance and just out-volume Christian to a decision, similar to how they did with Ibo Aslan in his last time out. If they can find a finish and open it up, good for them. But I would say, like I was talking about with Christian not having a lot of decisions, if any, under their belt, which they don't. Either way, no decision wins or losses. It would be in Alicana's best interest to draw them out to the later parts of the fight and just avoid the grappling at all costs if possible. I'm going to be going with Christian, though. I think that they're here to make a statement. Who we got, y'all?
I got Billy Elicana. I became a fan after that ass whooping he put on Ibo Aslan. I feel like he's a tough fighter. He's a really hard hitter, real rangy. You know what I mean? He's got long arms, and I feel like, he's won a lot of his decisions as well. So he's a high output. He's a fun fighter to watch. I just feel like he's going to have the advantage on the strength, I think. And with the longer arms, he might be a little bit something to deal with. I don't think I've seen him get challenged, get taken to the ground. So I'm just going to assume he has a decent takedown defense. But I don't. I see Elicana. This is probably going to be a knockout if it does finish. But if it goes the distance, I see Elicana having a better chance, considering he's had more finishes, decision-wise. So, just the output of the fighter and the one with Ibo Aslan, I feel like they were a little bit going back and forth, and I feel like I've seen his chin tested, Elicana. But yeah, that's what I'm going with. What do you think, Ray?
Billy Elicana, great pick again, my bro. Not this one, but the other one on the other side.
You guys, bro. Who are these two motherfuckers? I could have sworn, bro, I watched for like 3 weeks straight. This guy over here call us fucking clowns and stupid asses.
Tuck our pussy lips
in, all that shit. And now you guys are just a united front.
We're
Bro,
just
What the fuck,
the
bro?
money team.
What kind of fucking coups are going on in the background here that I don't know about? Am I getting X'd out or what? What's going on here?
I think me and Ray been pillow talking with the same hookers.
whoa, no. Hey, guys.
Hey, oh, I'm just playing.
Guaranteed's
Just
opinions
playing.
are his express opinions only. Do not represent Bros Talk MMA or RayBucks. Back to the show. Anyway, that being said, Billy Alicante for the win. Why?
Yes, sir.
Because he's been in the UFC. He knows what's going on. He hasn't had a year layoff. We're talking about a contender series guy who's coming in right now. We're talking about a guy who has a bunch of bums on his records, you know what I mean, to get him to that 9-2. Billy Alicante has fought, you know what I mean, some of the better fighters in the UFC, with an Ibo Aslam, with a Bogdan Gustav, like solid Bogdan, whatever, real fighters, you know what I mean, top level fighters. He's fighting in Las Vegas on this card, and he's a resident of Las Vegas. You know what I mean? He's got full access to the PI. He's right down the block. You know what I mean? He probably fucking runs to the PI, does a little workout, runs home, has himself a little bit of in and out. That being said, this guy's coming from Brazil. I don't know what the time difference is, but I know it's a lot further than fucking walking down the street. That being said, Alicante for the win.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I like the breakdown. I like it. All right, y'all. Real quick, shouts out to the chat. Twan Lorenzo says, Christian's striking is sus. If he can't get a takedown, he's cooked. Alicante by KO, second round. Say it again.
Thank you. Shout out to my man. I see the same shit happening. I don't see him getting past Alicante's boxing.
Hey, you guys, I'm going out on a limb. I know what I'm doing here, so I could very well, be putting my foot in my mouth, this time next week, but somebody has to go out on a limb on the channel,
I feel like you're picking with your heart. You got a big heart and you want some of these guys to win real bad, and you know what I mean?
Nah.
You sure?
I'm heartless now at this point.
I'm
I
heartless.
promise. I could easily go with Alicante because he did right by me in the Aslan fight, but I feel like it was just that particular opponent, and I don't feel like Alicante, this dude, we're going to see what his grappling's about because Christian's going to push that. So, it very well could just be Alicante stuffing takedowns and making this dude look like a butt scooter all night, but there is the possibility that he could wrap him up, and now all of a sudden we're seeing Alicante not be able to, figure out how to overcome adversity because he wasn't expecting to be in this position. So that's all.
I feel like he'll be getting counter-strike possibly Alicante making this fight up against the cage be his best advantage. That way Christensen can't fucking back or get away from those long arms as he fucking starts raining them haymakers,
No, I feel you, and shouts out Twan Lorenzo because I know he definitely does his research, so he's not saying what he's saying for no reason. So shouts out to them. Shouts out Cash again, giving me props on the fit. Appreciate you, sir. Fucking hot in this bitch, but we're just gonna keep it going.
Easy on my co-host.
I'm fucking I'm anemic. Moving on to a men's flyweight bout. They call him the meat gazer. We got Alan Nascimento going up against Cody Durden. I want to note that Cody Durden is stepping in on somewhat short notice, about 2 weeks or so, I would say. But we do got Nascimento coming in 2-1 in the UFC, 21-6 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. We got Durden coming in 6-6 with 1 draw in the UFC, 17-8 with that 1 draw overall, and are 1-4 in their last 5 bouts. I'm going to be going with Nascimento in this one by either sub or decision. They're going to be the slightly bigger of the two, a grappler primarily who should definitely look to close distance, secure a solid takedown, and just gain control of Durden to a decision or until a finish opens itself up. In this bout, they just need to avoid long-standing exchanges with Durden. Durden, who is slightly smaller of the two and well-rounded in their skill set, should definitely look to try to keep this fight standing as long as possible and just make it messy with Nascimento. They just need to land early and effectively and avoid the grappling just as a way of, giving Nascimento the least paths to victory as possible. But ultimately, I just think that with the short notice and, Nascimento is he's doing his thing. Durden, I feel like, has hit a ceiling. And his striking could be the X factor in this fight, but it's not like he's like this great striker, but he will have the edge in that department. So if he's able to, use his grappling prowess to just like offset Nascimento, like I said, to keep this on the feet, then he could find himself, taking this one home. But ultimately, I'm going with Nascimento. Who we got, y'all?
I'm going with Durden. Durden may not be this flashy, ground guy. He does have some wins on the ground for subs. He has, a decent amount of knockouts, and he has some decisions. And that's what kind of fortifies my decision for him, because Nascimento is a certified freaking nut hugger. He's going to go bury his face so far between his legs and just hope to get him to the ground to give him everything he's got. No Diddy. I just, what I mean? I feel like Nascimento, his confidence will break once he's not able to take his opponent down. So far, he hasn't had that. He's got 20-something submissions on his record right now. So I'm really not impressed with the dude. I don't like seeing these guys that come in here that are these one-trick ponies, and they want you to figure out how to beat me this way, and they get beat once, and you never hear about them in the fucking league again, because their style becomes exposed because it's just like a one-trick pony. So I hope that with Durden withstands the fucking double-legged takedowns and the high crotch takedowns up against the gate and pounds away on this fucking dude. What do you think, Ray?
I think welcome back to the win column, Cameron.
Hey.
Yeah. Fucking Alan Nascimento, what are we talking about? Cody Durden is 1-4 in his last 5 versus 4-1 with Alan Nascimento. In addition to that, he's coming in on short notice. So not only do you have you suck in your last 5 fights, or 4 of your last 5 fights, then you're going to have a short camp, which is going to mean you're going to suck in your 6th fight. You know what I mean? I don't really think there is a question of who's going to win this one. I think it's going to be a quick little jump up in rank for Nascimento. And Durden will probably, hold the 22nd or something because he's doing the company a favor and he's a company man. And that's all good and well. And I respect a fighter who's able to come in on a short camp because that shows, heart determination. But do we believe that maybe he's just doing that to keep his UFC job? Because they always need that guy who's going to be on call. And that's how you submit a strong relationship with Dana White and, maybe stay in the UFC a little bit longer than maybe what you should. Not saying that Durden's on his way out, but 1-4 in his last 5 doesn't mean he's on his way in either. That being said, I've got to go with Nascimento, even though I do believe, and I'll agree with Darren, that Cody Durden is the more exciting fighter of the two, less crotch snipping of the two. But do I think he's the winner of the two? Absolutely not.
Right on, y'all. Appreciate you. The one glaring thing about this fight is definitely the decision record of Nascimento. They're 5-6 in decisions in their career, so sounds like they're definitely going to want to try and get Durden out of here as soon as possible, unless they're able to just, like I said, control them. So Durden is live in this one, y'all. I just want to say that. Durden definitely is live in this fight, so we'll see. Want to send a quick shout-out to the chat. We got Alexa Grasso MMA. Loving the pod, guys. Like I've been saying, I'm not sure if this is the real Alexa Grasso, but shout-outs to them, regardless. They've been tuning in, week after week, so
hey, I appreciate
much love.
It if you're not the real one, but just go ahead and put it that you're the real one in the chat, or if you're not the real one way or another. Yeah.
And then We got, let's see here. Tuan Lorenzo says Nascimento has withdrawn from too many fights to be trusted. Oh, shit. All right.
Tuan Lorenzo, me and you are going to have a little a chat, you know what I mean, towards the end of this card. Because Nascimento is absolutely to be trusted, buddy.
We need to bring Tuan Lorenzo on the show one
We
day.
do. We do need,
you know?
We need some of the chat on the show here pretty soon.
Definitely. All right, y'all. Moving on to a welterweight matchup. We got Charles Radke going up against Daniel Frunze. We got Radke coming in. They are 3-2 in the UFC, 10-5 overall, and 3-2 in their last 5 bouts. We got Frunze coming in. They are 0-1 in the UFC, 9-3 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. I'm going to be going with Radke in this one by either decision or KO. They're going to be the older of the two fighters by 4 years, smaller in stature but well-rounded in their skill set. Definitely should look to close distance and get Frunze up against the cage and or down to the ground and just like control them with, not control them, but like control them to the point where they can open up ground and pound and possibly a finish in the process. But yes, they need to stay measured with their approach, avoid getting caught by Frunze, who definitely throws bombs, and just doesn't need to get in the pocket or into long-standing exchanges with Frunze. Frunze is going to be the younger and bigger of the two fighters, a power striker primarily who pressures forward and throws heavy. They want to keep this fight, at a distance to avoid like getting grappled or into the clinch with Radke, but they are going to be pressing forward and pressuring Radke, like I said, throwing bombs, looking to land early and effectively, and they just got to stay measured with their output and avoid grappling if possible. I believe their intro into the UFC was on short notice because I don't believe they won their Contender Series matchup prior, but they were available to step in on short notice. So maybe things will be different with a full camp. But yeah, they're kind of a one-trick pony in the sense of they just throw and are willing to take punishment, to give punishment, so if they're able to outdog Radke, good for them, but I just feel like Radke has more tools in his arsenal to actually get the job done. So that's who I'll be going with. Who we got, y'all?
I got Daniel Frunze.
Ooh, we going fucking head to head on this fucking card. This is crazy. Me and Darren are literally, I think, opposite on every fight.
We have me and Ray are only. That means you're almost the same with him though too.
Yeah, me and him. I think I know where he's going with this one. So me and him will have 2 fights that we agree on out of this whole card. But I think me and you are literally
Head to head on everything.
fucking opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I just feel like he has the heavier hands. I feel like his boxing is going to be a little bit more crisp, and I feel like he has the better stylistic wise. He's going to be doing better counter striking. I feel like Radke is going to be. Is that how you say Radke? Yeah.
Yeah, Radke.
I feel like Radke's going to be trying to make this a close phone booth fight and try to wear on him and hold him up against the cage. And Frunze is going to be kind of, slipping away from him, moving from side to side. And Radke's going to get caught chasing him, I think, because I don't think Radke's going to. He's not going to give this guy any respect. He's going to have to. Frunze is going to have to earn it because Radke's coming in to fucking maul him, Mm-hmm. What you got, Ray?
I've got to go with Radke. Got to go with Radke on this one, buddy.
That's 2.
It's going to be a rough night for you. Real quick before I finish this breakdown. Alexa, this is you. Go ahead and drop the YouTube channel in the chat. You know what I mean? Make sure that all of the chat checks it out. That being said, because she just made her YouTube channel a few weeks ago.
Right. Okay, Alexa.
Hey, I believe her, bro. What?
I believe you.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Hey, I believe her. I believe her. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm going to have her come over here and whip your ass. That being said.
That'd be tight.
That would be kind of funny. You'd be all right with that?
She can fucking roll me up, bro.
Don't talk about it like that.
Whoa, bro. Whoa, okay. Keep it clean.
That's my heart you're talking about.
My bad.
Oh, man. Anyway, back to Racky. Racky has the stronger strength of resume. He has fought the bigger and better fighters in the UFC. This guy's, you know what I mean, kind of a new booty. Obviously, he fought Reese McKee. Reese McKee, you know what I mean, middle of the road, lower middle of the road fighter. But we're talking about a Radke who just fought a Mike Malott. Did he lose to Mike Malott? Yes, he did lose to Mike Malott. But he didn't lose to Matthew Schmechelsberger. He lost to Carlos Prates, but who are we talking about? We're talking about Carlos fucking Prates. He beat Gilbert Urbina. You know what I mean? We're talking about
Gilbert Urbina.
Urbina.
Arenas.
I was speaking a little fast, gentlemen.
Fucking fought Gilbert Arenas.
Hey, bro, whipped his ass too, probably.
That's who just told on everybody for that NBA scandal and shit.
Oh yeah, he said it too. He came right out and said, "Hey, just so you know, if this shit stretches out any further, I'm telling on everybody."
He had a bag of food that said like informant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild
bruh.
work, bro.
No loyalty in the game, bruh.
That's right. But we're just talking about I think two different levels of fighter. That being said, you know what I mean. Radke could win anyway, whether it's on the feet, on the ground, more than likely on the feet than I think on the ground. And that's where his opponent's going to want to be at. That's where Frenz is going to want to be at. Do I think Frenz is a better striker than Radke is? What it really comes down to, no. Do I think Radke's heads and shoulders above him? No. But he also has other routes to victory. That being said, we're going Charles Radke for the win. And number one spot on the tracker because Daniel decided to pick, or Darren T decided to pick against me twice, so he'll be number two. But hey, bro, number two spot is not that bad.
Before we get into this next matchup, Cash says, my picks are almost the same as RayBuck's. Until Derrick Henry only has 4 points on fantasy football.
This is bro talks MMA, bro. We're not talking about fantasy football.
Oh,
I like that.
wow.
Yeah. This is
Cash is out here throwing low blows like, hey, bro, you're going to talk shit to me on the pod? We're just going to talk about your fantasy football team. That's rough.
Oh, man.
I'm playing him in fantasy football. I know why you gotta bring my personal, but you don't gotta make my personal shit in here, Cash.
Jesus, bro, that was a little bit of a low blow. We might take a point for that.
But yeah, but we're not. We aight. We aight. You know what I'm saying? We aight.
Yeah, all right, y'all. Let's keep it clean. Y'all. Moving on to what I believe. Let's see here. Okay, no, this one's still down on the card a little bit. We got a featherweight matchup. We got Isaac Dolgarian going up against Yadier Del Valle. We got Dolgarian coming in. They are 2-1 in the UFC, 7-1 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. We got Del Valle coming in 1-0 in the UFC, 9-0 overall, so they're perfect going into this matchup. They're gonna be the taller. Well, first off, I'm going with Del Valle, and I don't really have a method associated with it. They're gonna be the taller and less rangy of the two fighters, well-rounded in their skill set and a dog fighter. They're definitely gonna want to look to keep this fight standing and land effectively as the fight goes. They need to keep this fight in open space and avoid having their back put up against the cage, and should definitely avoid grappling at all costs with Dolgarian. Dolgarian's going to be the shorter and longer of the two. Well-rounded in their skill set, but really a sticky grappler at the foundation of it all, like Gamrot style fucking grappling. Definitely should look to close the distance. Get this fight up against the cage or down to the ground. Control and land effective ground and pound. They just need to stay measured with their approach and output when going for the takedowns and just make them count. And just don't just go for control only. Like, you gotta, make use of that control. I think that was one of the reasons they had lost one of their recent bouts against Christian Rodriguez. They were definitely winning in terms of the grappling, but they weren't doing anything with it. And as Christian Rodriguez started to come on later on in the later parts of the fight, he was, landing punishment as well as starting to, offset some of that grappling from Dolgarian. But all in all, if they can avoid long-standing exchanges with Delvey, then I think that they'll be good to go. But ultimately, I think if Delvey can just land that punishment, stuff the takedowns early on, and weather that storm early from Dolgarian, they'll be able to start piecing them up more so. And Dolgarian, who hasn't really shown much outside of just that grappling, they do have some hands and power in the hands, but I think a lot of those KOs are from ground and pound and not necessarily knocking fools out on the feet. So
one punch and walk off.
Yeah. So I'll be going with Delvey in this one. Who we got?
I got Isaac Dolgarian. I feel like he's the scrappier of the two. I feel like he's got more to lose in this, and I feel like, he's. I think he's probably the lesser in the striking, so he's probably going to be going a lot of fakes and taking valet. Is that how you call him? Delvey to the ground. I feel like it's going to be some ground and pound. There's going to be Dolgarian's way of finishing this. I think standing on his feet is probably going to get him clipped. But I do think his superpower is on the ground, and I feel like he could get Delvey on the ground. So what do you got, Ray?
I've got to go with Dolgarian as well. Delvey is not going to get it done, unfortunately. He's just, kind of a new booty in the UFC, right? He's only got one win over Conor Matthews. That's his debut. And we've got a Dolgarian that's, fought some pretty substantial fighters in the UFC thus far. And there's a little bit of a belief that he did win that one against Christian Rodriguez, which is, an outstanding fighter in the UFC. So I believe, he's going to want to really get after it. My one worry is that he hasn't fought in over a year. I do not like that. Not a fan of it. But I don't see him as a lazy fighter or a slouch. I don't have any information on if there was an injury or, anything of that nature.
He just doesn't need to fight. Like, he's made that kind of, known, to the public that, like, he doesn't fight, because he needs the check. Like, he fights when he wants to fight, when it feels good. He's a farmer. So, like, he lives the farm life outside of the UFC and literally just does it because it feels good, not because he's, like, needs the money or, is searching for this stardom or acclaim or anything like that. So just a heads up on that.
And I really do like that. You know what I mean? That's a, I don't like it as much as like the way Quay Guida does it, but like early Quay Guida did that. You know what I mean? And early Quay Guida was a monster. So he's not fighting, injured. He's not fighting, because he needs a check. He's not fighting with that worry. He's fighting for the love of the game and the love of the sport. So you've got to really respect that. That being said, I just don't, I just think he's a better fighter. He's going to have the higher IQ. And he's just going to get it done. He just has more routes to victory to me. And again, we're talking about, he's undefeated since 2021. And again, while he, not technically, he's got the one loss against Christian Rodriguez, but it's a splitty. Somebody believes he won. That being said,
I kind of believed he won, but I had picked Rodriguez, so I was happy to take that one. But if I'd be lying if I didn't say I did think Dolgarian was going to take that one. And when Rodriguez's name got announced, I was like, ooh, buddy.
Right? So, yeah, Dolgarian for the win. Sorry, that was a little bit of a slow breakdown.
Yeah, move on to the
Let me
next
get some more energy there.
fight,
Sorry, my
please.
bad, guys. My bad. Let me fucking get it back up.
Fucking darn it.
All right, y'all. Moving on to the featured bout on the main card. We have a matchup between Jeremiah Wells going up against Timba Garimbo. We got Wells coming in. They are 4-2 in the UFC, 12-4 with one draw overall, and are 2-3 in their last 5 bouts. We got Garimbo coming in. They are 4-2 in the UFC, 14-5 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. I'm going to be going with Garimbo on this one by decision or sub. They're going to be the younger and bigger of the two fighters, well-rounded in their skill set, but, leans primarily into their grappling. They're going to want to look to mix this up and eventually lean into the grappling unless they find the advantage on the feet. Definitely should just look to control and wear on Wells in the gas tank department and let the finish open itself up rather than hunting for it. Wells is going to be the older of the two by 5 years, smaller in stature, well-rounded in their skill set, and should also look to mix it up and then just look to lean into wherever it is they find an advantage. I would say that they most likely would want to try to keep this fight standing, given that they've never been knocked out and Timba Garimbo has. So they very well could be the better on the feet. Whereas Garimbo, his bread and butter is on the ground. And it's not to say Wells doesn't have a good ground game, because he does. But why give him that opportunity? So if he can keep this standing, I would suggest that and try and find that knockout or just piece him up. But ultimately, I think Garimbo presents too many threats and should be the better grappler in this matchup, but that remains to be seen. I'll be going with Garimbo, though. Who we got, y'all?
I got Jeremiah Wells.
God damn.
I feel like I know.
Really, I'm saying I submitted these picks yesterday, and I just did not see the fucking contrast going on.
We did not talk about this at all. Ray does his picks on fucking Sundays. I do mine on fucking Wednesdays. Yeah, like
Yeah, and I'm right
great
there.
minds just think
I'm
alike.
in the middle somewhere between all that time. I'm either like Tuesday, Wednesday with picks.
Yeah, I just feel like Wells has the better chance. I feel like Garimbo. I feel like Wells has no. He has no business trying to go and play fucking Garimbo's game. Don't go to the ground with him. Stuff those fucking takedowns. Make him stand up. If he does take you to the ground, lay on top of him. Make it to where he's not doing much work and they stand you up, because the feet is where you're going to find success for Wells. I just feel like Wells just has a better route to victory, whether it's be stand up or on the ground, because he has good ground to pound. I don't know if he's a specialist as far as like jiu-jitsu or anything, but I do know that he has good takedown defense. But I just, I'm going with Wells. Wells for the fuck. I think he's going to finish it. Garimbo doesn't have a chance at finishing it unless he's got him in a submission, I feel.
Yeah.
What you got?
This
Ray?
is going to be a rough one. I don't think this is a clear-cut, easy pick for me. But I'm going to go with Timba Garimbo. Timba Garimbo is the younger fighter with more UFC fights under his belt, I do believe, over Jeremiah Wells. Give me just a second to confirm said thing I just said that was, not based in what I actually know. 4-2, so he's got 6 fights in the UFC. Jeremiah Wells has 6 fights in the UFC. Okay, so I guess they've been in the UFC just about as long, as far as the same fights. That being said, Timba Garimbo is, 1-4 in their last 5 fights, whereas Jeremiah Wells is 2-3 in their last 5 fights. They both haven't fought in, that's a little bit further. So Jeremiah Wells hasn't fought in a year and 8 months, whereas Timba Garimbo hasn't fought in 10 months and 3 weeks. So I feel like
You know how you feel with your ring rust.
it's a little bit of ring rust right there, buddy.
Little crusty rusty.
Not a fan. And in addition to that, Jeremiah Wells is 39 years old versus 34 years old. A 5-year difference. You know what I mean? He's knocking the door down on 40. Not to say that 40-year-olds can't whoop some ass, because we all know me. But that being said, I digress. Thimba Garimbo for the win. I think Jeremiah Wells' route to victory, you're right. He needs to stand, and he needs to stay standing. Because in a standing exchange, Garimbo, you know what I mean, is a sniper. He's not going to put the volume out. I don't think he's more powerful than Wells. He's always looking for that perfect shot, whereas sometimes he needs to just let them hands fly. If he gets down to the ground, Grimbo, you know what I mean, is going to dominate him, and it's just going to be a long, arduous fight for Wells if that does happen. And I do believe that Grimbo can do that. But again, this is not an easy fight for me. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, throw the house, the dog, and the wife on the Grimbo Wells fight, but Grimbo is my pick.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening in the heavyweight division. We got Waldo Cortez Acosta going up against Ante Delija. We got Cortez Acosta coming in 7-2 in the UFC, 14-2 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. We got Delija coming in 1-0 in the UFC, 26-6 overall, and 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. I'm going to be going with Cortez Acosta in this one by decision or KO. They're going to be the slightly younger and taller of the two fighters, a fast striker who should look to keep this one at distance and just point fight their way to decision, get back into the win column. Let the finish open itself up if possible, but really just, get it done on the feet, avoid the grappling at all costs. We got Delija coming in, slightly older by a year, shorter in stature, well-rounded in skill set, and very experienced, even though they're just now entering the UFC. They're going to want to look to mix it up and lean into where they find an advantage, which should probably be on the ground, in my opinion. They need to pressure Acosta, but stay measured in their approach and avoid getting caught because, like I said, Acosta is a former fucking major league pitcher. So he's carried that over into the fight game where literally he throws fast as fuck for a heavyweight. So yeah, if they're able to, just get this one to the ground, avoid getting caught and secure, takedowns and ride out to decision or open up the ground and pound, they should be able to get this done. But don't get me wrong. In their debut fight, they fucking knocked out Tabura, but I think Tabura and Acosta are two different cats, especially on the feet. So, I couldn't let that play too much into my decision. And ultimately, Cortez Acosta does have high-level experience at UFC level. So, I'm going with them, but Delija is live to win. He does train with Tom Aspinall, so he's got high-level, expertise and a team behind him, and he's going to want to make this count, being that he's gotten to the UFC so late. He's got to make a run now or never. So he definitely is live in this one, but I do think Cortez Acosta is going to fight a cleaner fight overall and just get themselves, they know how to just win, and I think ultimately they'll get themselves back into the win column. But yeah, that's who I'm going with. Who we got, y'all?
I'm going with Delija. The dude has 12 fucking TKOs, 7 subs, 7 decisions. He's not scared to take this to the fucking end ground or to the end of the third round to deep waters. I just feel like Delija has more experience on getting these fights in and out of there. And like you said, Acosta is going to try to fight a clean fight, and Delija's not going to allow it. He's going to make it dirty. He's going to make it a fucking up-in-your-face, a phone booth fight, and that's not Acosta's thing. Acosta doesn't fight good fighting backwards, and I think Delija's going to have him moving backwards taking the center of the octagon and just pushing him towards the outside of the cage. Acosta he has decent striking. I just don't feel like he has the repertoire of, knockouts of what fucking Delija has, and that's Delija's superpower. And I feel like Acosta's going to try to play with him in his game, thinking that he's going to be able to have crisper boxing. Elijah has a better chin. That's just, my personal opinion, of course. But what you got, Ray?
I've got to disagree with you. I've got to go with Waldo Cortez Acosta. Let me please just read down his resume of fights in the last 5 fights. Last 5 fights: Sergey Pavlovich, Sergey Spivak, Ryan Spann, Robles Despang, Andres Orlovsky.
How many of those did he knock out?
We're talking about he knocked out Ryan Spann.
Ryan Spann's chinny as fuck.
He's chinny as shit. We get that, right?
Right.
But I would say, don't quote me on this, I may be wrong, but I would say all of those fighters are top 15.
Oh, for sure.
All 5 of them. This dude,
Not Arlovsky.
No.
Andre Arlovsky?
Andre Arlovsky's way past his prime, bro.
Top 15, and I don't even think he's in UFC anymore.
okay, maybe not top 15 at the time he fought him, but has been a top 15 fighter.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go with that. That being said, Marcin Tybura, hell of a fighter. You know what I mean? It's yes. And you know what I mean? A great one to come in the UFC on. I agree. But again, we're talking about Carlos Acosta or Cortez Acosta, who has fought 5 Marcin Tyburas.
He's lost to Sergey Pavlovich.
He lost to 1. But he's fought 5. This guy's fought 1. He is not, in my opinion, betting worthy enough against Acosta. We're talking about a heavier Acosta, or not a heavier Acosta, but a heavier opponent. We're talking about somebody who, in their last fight, came in at 139 pounds in
12.
Dalige or whatever his fucking name is, Auntie, versus Cortez Acosta, who came in at 262 pounds. I mean, an inch taller. Like, this is a big man that, yes, of course, he's got that pitcher arm, and you know what I mean? He's throwing fast punches, but you're throwing him against a fucking brick wall. We're throwing him against somebody who's comfortable at that weight, not a fatty at that weight.
You're getting it mixed up.
Yeah.
Cortez Acosta is the pitcher.
Yeah.
The former pitcher.
Well, I'm talking about the bigger man, the more brick wall of a fighter is what we're talking about.
You're saying that's Acosta, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just correcting you so that you were saying that even though homie's got a fast arm, he's going to be going up against a brick wall. You're talking about the same person. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. I see what you're saying. Either way, Cortez Acosta for the win. Cortez Acosta is just, you know what I mean, I think the smarter fighter. Does Auntie have hands? Yes, I think he does. I think they're great hands. He just doesn't have the full package to be an elite UFC fighter, to beat an elite UFC fighter like Waldo Cortez Acosta. He's just not ready for the top 10. I think this will be a learning lesson for him. You know what I mean? And I think he'll be better for it.
Awesome.
All right. Want to go to the chat real quick. Twan Lorenzo says, and I'm assuming this is in reference to Elijah, PFL guys can't be trusted.
Shouts out Twan Lorenzo for that take.
All right, y'all. Moving on to the main event of the evening. We have a featherweight matchup, and I just want to say a fucking banger of a featherweight matchup. We have Steve Garcia going up against David Onama. We got Garcia coming in 7-2 in the UFC, 18-5 overall, and are currently riding a 6-fight win streak. We got Onama coming in 6-2 in the UFC, 14-2 overall, and they are 4-1 in their last 5 bouts. I went back and forth, and I actually had Onama in my pick column, and then I had to switch it up and go back with Garcia. I'm going with them by either KO or decision. Garcia is going to be the slightly older and bigger of the two. A power striker primarily who should look to keep this fight clean but land effectively, similar to how he fought his Calvin Kattar fight. You know, like, He's been on this knockout streak going into that fight. So, you know, of course, everybody's looking for him to get it done. But he showed that he actually can be just a good technical fighter, too. And, you know, get it done against somebody who usually is more so of a decision machine, you know, and was able to show that he can last, you know, those 15 minutes as opposed to just, you know, being a knockout artist and not really knowing where that gas tank is at. So yeah, if they can stay measured with their approach and output and avoid grappling if possible and or getting drawn into a firefight with Onama, I think given their strength of schedule going into this fight and just, you know, the ability to knock someone out at any point in the fight, that ultimately puts them over for me. I think they're going to be the aggressor. I think their gas tank is going to be better than Onama. But Onama is very live in this fight, and they're going to be the slightly younger and smaller of the two. Well-rounded in their skill set with power in their hands. It definitely was their hands that got them to the show and like got them recognition to get to this main event slot. But they do have some grappling in their back pocket. And I would say that they just need to look to to close distance in this fight, make it messy, get it up against the cage more so, and eventually possibly to the ground if they can, as a path of least resistance to really, you know, neutralize Garcia's offense. Unless they're able to catch Garcia on the feet, because like I said, they do carry power in the hands. But they're going to have to stay measured in their approach and output because I have seen them fade in fights and become labored in those fights and not be able to throw as effectively. And they as well, though, need to avoid getting into a firefight with Steve Garcia because literally either one of these guys could catch one another, you know. But I will say Onama does have the wild card in his pocket of pulling out some grappling. But Onama kind of takes me for the type who will be going for that grappling after finding out that the feet aren't going so well for him, which then makes that grappling kind of ineffective because you're just basically laying and praying and, you know, possibly butt scooting and just looking labored throughout the fight. So, you know, ultimately, I got to go with Steve Garcia in this one. Who we got, y'all?
I got Steve Garcia as well. All three of us?
Hey, well, just you and me. Like, let's just start there for starters. Like, me and Darren T fucking finally agreed on a fight with his card, dog. Fucking go!
Hey, that's what makes this fucking channel brilliant, right? You got three different minds, and sometimes we're all together, sometimes we're all apart, sometimes it's a 2-on-1, and sometimes it's fucking every man for themselves. As crazy as it is. But yeah, I'm glad we could come to agreement on something finally.
It almost didn't happen. I literally was this close to picking Onama, and I just started comparing schedules, and I was just like, Steve Garcia kind of had stiffer competition leading up to this fight.
For sure.
Even though he is catching Calvin Kattar on like a 5-fight fucking slide, but still.
Right.
That's still high-level, high-ranked competition in that division.
I just think he's a strong finisher. I feel like he has a tendency to take these fights into deep waters and still fucking win these fights in the end with knocking these dudes out. He has a shit ton of knockouts on his record. He does not like to fucking go to the finish and to the past, you know what I mean, the second and a half round. His gas tank is he's got an all right gas tank. I've seen his takedown defense is all right. I don't know if he could grapple. Or I don't know if he could do anything on the ground.
I don't think
other than
he's
ground
haven't
and pound.
tested quite yet. I think is really what it is.
I think this might be the fight where that happens because, like you said, you know, as David Onama realizes that on the feet's not going to work with Steve Garcia. You know, I hope it's too late and he gets chinned and put out. But I'm taking Steve for the win. Who you got, Ray?
David Onama is going to lose this fight to Steve Garcia.
Let's fucking go.
Bro talk pick.
United front right at the end. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let me give you a last fight breakdown, probably my favorite last fight breakdown that can be given. I don't give a shit about wins and losses because they're all wins for Steve Garcia. We're talking about being 4-1 in KOs versus decisions. 4 KOs, 1 decision in his last 5. Where we have David Onama, decision. They were wins, don't get me wrong, but they're still decisions.
He's just
decisions.
a high output fighter.
You know what I mean? He's got 1 KO against Gabriel Santos 2 years ago. And he lost against Nate Landwehr. Not a good one for me. I don't, you know what I mean? Don't really respect that. We're talking about some high level competition that this dude fucking
That's
Steve
what it
Carter.
was. Like when I looked at that, when I looked at those last 5 fights, I was like, this dude's kind of went through like a killer's row as opposed to Onama, who's beating, you know, mid-level guys. And don't get me wrong, losing to Nate Landwehr isn't something to hang your head about because Landwehr was on a tear at that time. Yeah. But now that is kind of it hasn't aged well. Gracefully for sure. You're right about that.
So that being said, I've got to go with the Mean Machine. I've got to go with Steve Garcia. He's going to put Onama on his fucking pockets. And it just is what it is. This dude is just mean. And he's a machine, and he's a monster. The only way that I see Onama winning if he's going to just crotch sniff all night and he's able to get that grappling going. But he needs to get it going early. It needs to be something that Steve Garcia fears to where he's not throwing as much volume and throwing those shots because he's trying to protect his legs and protect his, you know what I mean, his stand-up.
Onama's one of those guys who grapples for, you know, he freaking crotch sniffs for the love of the game. Well, you know what I mean, trust me, he's going to be going for it.
There's that as well.
He's going to be going for it.
Well, do you think he's going to be going for it right off the bat, though?
No, or not until he gets put in danger.
And that's what I believe, is he's going to be in the phone booth and be like, oh, shit, I need to open the door, and it's going to be too goddamn late. And at that point, that's when, you know what I mean, he takes a nap on the fucking canvas, and Steve Garcia runs away with the win. I run away with the win. I run away with the bag.
We all run away with the win.
Yes, indeed.
Everyone gets the bag on that fight.
Yeah, I mean, at least on that fight, I was going to say, if fucking things go the way that you guys got it planned, I might have to withdraw from the fucking channel.
We can use a Jamie.
You know, I might have to just go on the other side of the camera. Real
Cam,
shit.
roll that clip.
Cam. Get the cam. Shout outs real quick. Twan Lorenzo, Waldo's footwork will be the difference. Late KO or decision. Ray nailed it in his breakdown. He also says Onama is the better fighter in the pocket, and Steve loves to crash the pocket. Onama will catch him clean and early in the fight, but if it goes late, he might be cooked. I like that assessment. Twan Lorenzo, shouts out to you. Gentlemen, do we have any parlays going into this week?
Nah. What about the parlay god?
The parlay god has, I believe, give me just a second because I got to check my DraftKings. I didn't write it down, but I believe it's in my.
Saved it?
It's in my Kings account.
Okay. Well, while you get that set up, I'll give everybody what I got here. I was actually not going to go with a parlay as well, but I said fuck it. I got a base parlay. It's an all-ladies parlay. I'm going with Alencar, Ardalion, and Dumont to win. And if you want, and this is you know, just kind of just, you know, these were like kind of the only fights that I could somewhat see a clear winner in. So that's why I went with those 3. If you want to spice things up, you know, and just add to the odds, you can put Sung Hyung Ko in there. And you want to spice it up a little more, you can throw Charles Radke on top of there. And if you want to shit your pants by, you know, just putting together a solid 6, which should render a nice little plus money payout, you can throw Nascimento on top of there. But yeah.
I got a little parlay.
Oh shit, we have a new challenger.
I'm taking Wells. I'm taking Cody Durden, which is underdog. Billy Alicana. And if you want to shit your socks for the night, we're going with Caitlin Vieira.
Shit your socks is gross, my boy.
Yikes.
Hey, and that's with that little leg parlay, up should make some money.
I like it. I like it, sir. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? No no parlays were put together.
Whoa. There
Another one while you're
is
not,
forever
while
a
you're over there fucking killing time.
Whoa.
I'm gonna take Carnelosi. I'm gonna take Phil Rowe, which are both underdogs. Then we'll go with Caitlin Vieira. That's a 3-leg of underdogs.
Okay, I like that.
Let me tell you.
This nigga put together a whole card.
What you got, Double
You're
G?
gonna go with the whole card?
Hey, what you got, Double G?
I always put together a full card parlay. You know what I mean? I may only put a little bit of money on it, but that does happen. And I have hit, as you can attest to. I won 3 G's off of a $5 bet, I believe it was. And I will tell you, I do have a full card parlay bet in 13 pick for $5.
Strap in, folks.
To win $5,877.43.
Damn.
That's not what I'm expecting you guys to do. But I do have a parlay, and the parlay god is doing that. But I don't think I have a 1, 2, 3 pick parlay for you guys just yet, unfortunately.
Then put your 3 best picks together for somebody to win some fucking money, please. Oh. Come on, you can't call yourself the parlay god.
Parlay god put in a goddamn entire card
on
parlay,
the
buddy.
parlays.
All right. Parlay god.
Parlay dude.
Is going to put a first pick as Radke. Second pick as Carnelosi.
I like that. I like that. Carmelosi's where it's at. What are you talking about?
You're tripping, bro.
That's
I'm
fucking
telling you,
money
watch.
right
You're gonna
there.
watch a very scary looking bitch act very scary when she realizes that nobody's scared of her. That's what happened with Pierre Rodriguez. Pierre Rodriguez literally started running through her, and had Rodriguez not been a crazy person and headbutted her fucking 2 times and got
Disqualified, yeah.
Fucking, she was gonna lose that fight.
You know, I think after this fight, after Carnelosi goes and puts work on this chick, you need to go watch What a Woman Wants by Mel Gibson.
That is crazy work, bro.
So you can learn about this, learn what the fuck's going on up there, okay?
Oh, shit.
Fucking okay, goddammit.
I'm dead.
The parlay guy.
Oh shit, here we go.
Fuck. You ready to shit your shoes, guys?
His 5-pick parlay of the evening. It is Carnelosi, Caitlin Vieira, Charles Radke, Waldo Cortez Acosta, and my man, your man, our man, Steve Garcia.
All right.
I like it.
I think my guy Twan Lorenzo is with y'all up until Caitlin Vieira. I believe that's what he said. He definitely said that about Darren's parlay. He said, I was with you until you said Vieira. And I'm assuming he might have been with you until you said Vieira, RayBucks.
Mom's going to be running.
I don't know. Did y'all forget what Norma Dumont did to Irene Aldana's fucking face at Noche? Do y'all remember? She literally split her shit in 2. Y'all remember that? Made her face look like she was looking in a broken mirror. That shit looked fucking wild.
I don't feel like she has the. I mean, styles make fights. Styles make fights, and Caitlin Vieira's a fucking bully. You know what I mean? She is.
No, she pretty much lumbers forward, in my opinion, and I think that's the only issue with her is she doesn't put out enough volume. If she put out volume on top of what she already knows how to do, which is, like I said, trap chicks up against the cage and then just, hold them, control them.
Look how many people Norma Dumont has finished.
Oh, she hasn't finished. She's a decision machine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what worries me. Caitlin Vieira likes to finish. Norma Dumont likes to go with the decisions. That's why I went with Vieira on there. So Twan Lorenzo, I might stand wrong, and we'll see after this Saturday. But yeah, I think Cameron's gonna have some Mel Gibson to watch this weekend.
I'm fucking dead.
Wild work, bro.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, thoughts real quick, gentlemen, since I got y'all here. Thoughts on last weekend's card. What did y'all like about it? What did you dislike about it? Guaranteed, it's on you.
Like I called Chris Barnett was just a fucking mess of a fucking fight. I feel like that was just kind of something that none of us needed to fucking watch. I'm happy. I think they dropped him out of the UFC, didn't they?
Who was that?
The UFC dropped him from that after the fight. I thought Chris Barnett
Oh,
and the other dude. I thought the other dude got dropped too.
I think they might have dropped Hamdi, or
and he
in
won.
there. Yeah.
Other than that, I was trying to go back over who I'll fight last weekend. Bring up the card real quick. Yeah, I had a lot of fucking shit to say about it, actually.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Sound off. It's gonna take a little.
It's all right. I might be able to pull up the.
What are we looking for?
You had the last week's card, just giving our thoughts on, iGate and all that shit.
Okay.
We're trying to pull
card overall. So there's the card overall right there.
Okay, from the bottom.
Mizuki, bruh. Mizuki came out and made everybody look like a fucking
He did.
fool, bruh.
Walter Walker got him with the fucking heel hook.
Yep,
Called that.
Made history with that one.
Young Park got fucking smacked up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Called that.
That shit was fucking annoying as fuck to watch.
Alexander Volkov I like the decision. I think fucking Almeida wasn't doing enough to get that fucking win.
I mean,
to be honest with you.
From what I'm used to seeing, I was thrown off at first seeing them make that decision. But after further review and thinking about it for a while, I like the fact that that's the way they went too, because just laying on somebody or just controlling them does not mean you're winning a fight. It means that you're prolonging getting your ass whooped potentially.
Right.
That's really what it is you're fighting not to lose, not to win.
For sure.
So I feel that.
I felt like I don't know. I didn't think who else was on that card?
Nathaniel Wood got away with
Jose
one.
Delgado,
Jose Delgado got robbed. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure I went with Delgado last week.
And Twan, let me say, your Gon pick, I was always putting respect on Gon's name. It was never like a runaway victory for Aspinall, in my opinion. I think Gon was live. We'll just never know how that's going to turn out until they get this rematch going. But I think that is a very toss-up fight.
Gon was flowing on him. You could see it in the fight. He could feel it. He was you could see it on his face. Damn, I'm fucking I'm kind of in the zone on this fool.
Yeah.
And I think knowing what we've seen in that little bit, Tom Aspinall he'll be initiating grappling way faster in their next matchup, I believe.
Yeah, I think he wasn't expecting the kickboxing to be as effective, the impact his punches were having on him. I feel like he was just getting caught in the midst of whoa, a couple more of these, and in exchange, I'm gonna end up fucking going down. You know what I mean? And I felt like he was getting his ass whooped. I felt like Aspinall isn't the fucking killer we all thought he was, because I feel like if it would have been somebody like Geary or even Brandon Moreno's gone in there with the fucking torn ACL and fucking what I mean, stuck it out and fucking.
The 125er comes in there. And
sorry, bro.
The heavyweight champ. God damn.
I'm just saying, you got two eyes. You know what I mean? I've seen fighters do without a lot less in there, and I'm not going to tell any fighter where to put his threshold at for whenever he draws a line for it. But I just feel like these dudes, there's some fighters in there that do not fucking care, and that eye poke wouldn't have been nothing. I believe, was it Poatan got nut checked by fucking Jamal Hill, and the ref came in, and Poatan's like, nah, I'm about to kill this fucking dude. Went in there with the left fucking hook, whop, finished him out. So
I will say there is a little bit of an update on Tom Aspinall, coming from his father, nonetheless. He has said in the media, in the news, that Tom currently, as of I believe yesterday, I read this news, has no vision in one eye, and in his other eye has about 50% vision.
That's fucking bullshit.
That being said, he can literally read, this is how he said it, he can read 4 lines down on the eye chart, the big E chart thing, the vision chart. He can read 4 lines down on with one eye, and then the other eye he just sees gray. Again, he could be bullshitting, but I mean, I will say Gon was knuckle deep in his eye sockets. Like,
Hey, ever since Aljo fucking went out with the whole fucking knee thing, this whole fucking getting your ass kicked and getting out by fucking, the easy way out by taking a fucking disqualification rather than trying to dig deep and figure something out, I think it's becoming like a fucking trend. You know what I mean? These fighters are looking for these fucking eye pokes and these nut shots. And, I mean, I can see if Kevin Holland shit his fucking pants when he got kicked in the nuts and shit flew out of his ass and it was all over, then to stop the fucking fight. But he didn't have no hernia. I haven't heard him having any hernia or pissing blood. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like Aljo set the presence for a lot of these guys to have a second chance of coming back with a better strategy when they're losing these fights.
I'll tell you this.
That's my personal opinion.
Personal experience. I've never been poked in the eye, but I've got to imagine fighting somebody that can literally fucking KO you.
With 2 eyes.
He
was fucking him up when he had 2 eyes.
Yeah.
He was fucking Uptown Aspinall when he had 2 eyes, so I don't know.
So then you can't see and he's fucking you up more. That's kind of a bad deal. Now, I've also been kicked in the nuts during a fucking fight. And I will tell you, you have a small window of when that shit does not matter. Like, there's that initial, like, oh, fuck, I got kicked in the nuts. But there's about a 10-second window of adrenaline of, I'm going to murder you for kicking me in the nuts. Whereas you don't really have that window, I don't think, when you can't fucking see. For sure. So just playing a little bit of devil's advocate, you know what I mean? We're talking about the greatest fighters in the world. We're not talking about a street fight in front of the bar after you've had a couple.
Hot take from your boy. That
being said, you know what I mean? They were deep enough for me to go, I can understand why he stopped. You know what I mean? I think when you take a little bit of a nut shot, I think you can walk that shit off and fucking get back in the game. You know what I mean? I'm gonna even go as far as maybe a headbutt. You know what I mean? You shake it off a little bit and you fucking get back in the game. Eye pokes, not being able to see fucking punches that are coming at you from a fucking a Cyril Gane or a Poetan or whoever the hell they might be. A little dangerous, so I can understand wanting to be able to see that shit getting ready to hit your face.
Here's a hot take and a question from your boy here. They brought up the gloves again to Dana. Dana just kind of dismissed it like, we've tried. There is no way. It's just a part of the game, and dudes just got to clean it up. Basically, is how he came at it. He ultimately said, that Aspinall opted not to continue rather than putting emphasis on the fact that Cyril Gane fucking fouled him. So that kind of tells you how he feels about the situation without saying it. But this is my question to y'all, first off. Well, this is my hot take that then leads into a question. In the entirety of the times that I've ever watched street fights, whether live in person or, on World Star or, on the internet or whatever, even being in one fight my entire lifetime, one thing I did notice after 321, after really trying to think hard about it, is I don't think I've ever seen people get kicked in the nuts or fucking poked in the eyes in street fights. And these are unprofessional, fucking uncoordinated, not athletic fucking people. And I mean, I don't know about y'all, but any World Star fucking bum fights back in the day, fucking street fight, fucking DVD videos, fucking World Star. Anytime I've ever witnessed a street fight, I've never seen someone get poked in their fucking eyes. I've never seen someone fucking get kicked in the nuts. And I've never even seen somebody get compromised by a foul, to where they fucking, couldn't continue or then got fucking mauled afterwards. It's always been, no, a motherfucker just ends up getting caught. and just fucking then a fool just starts working them after that. Even in girls fights, you don't see girls fucking poke each other in the eyes. You don't see fucking them kicking each other in the fucking vagina. Like, I don't know, y'all. Like, that's just a hot take. So my question, I guess, is how much is it the gloves? And then how much is it that maybe MMA is a hybrid style of fighting in the sense of like it does actually involve so much hand fighting that eye pokes, I guess, in a sense, or groin kicks are a part of the game. Where it's like, but only in like an MMA fight. You know what I mean? Not in street fighting, not in boxing, not in, other combat sports, but specifically MMA is the only kind of combat sport where you find this type of fucking shit happening. Do you guys think that that's an accurate take, or do you believe that maybe I'm a little bit off and, you guys got your own opinions? Let me know.
I think it's an absolutely accurate take. You know what I mean? I have been kicked below the waist, or I believe it was a knee below the waist during a street fight. You know what I mean? And then I've also on a fireman's carry while I was wrestling in high school, got a nut shot. You know what I mean? That was not fun. It's kind of part of I couldn't even call it a foul. It was just a fireman's carry is literally an arm between your legs, bro. So it is what it is. But I went forward to pin that guy within the next 10 seconds because I knew after that I was going to be a crumpled mess on the ground. So no, I've never been poked in the eyes. Unless it was a foreign substance, such as like sand or cleaner or something. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get into that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure about the what's the statute of limitations. But I have had things thrown in my eyes, but never fingers or anything of that nature.
I think a lot of the eye pokes from the UFC come from, it's a defensive stance, right? You get up real close, you make your impact, and your hands are literally right here. And as this guy moves forward to half step into his hook or cross, you're putting your hands out to kind of like shield yourself, like to keep him from getting so close. I feel like to get rid of that engagement would be crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, how do you fucking combat, two guys separating from each other after an exchange is done? I mean, you're supposed to throw your punches, and then when the guy steps in, just put your hands up and back up. Because a lot of the times these guys with the longer arms are able to put their hands on even their opponent's chest to keep them getting within chin length with something nasty. So I think it's more of a defensive thing. I don't think it's guys looking in there trying to eye poke. I think, you know what I mean, fucking, like I said, having an engagement with the fucking with somebody and then trying to backstep or counter them back up, and they're moving forward and you're putting your hands out trying to keep them from just moving forward. I don't think there's any kind of I don't think anybody's doing this shit on purpose. But I mean, if they want, they can make a rule that you can't extend your arms out after an initial contact, which means you can protect your head, you can protect your jaw, you can protect your body, but you can't put your fucking arms out to stop the momentum of the fighter moving forward towards you.
All right, let me just go ahead and comment on the chat. Go ahead and change your chat name, Twan Lorenzo, to Dirty Twan Lorenzo, bro.
Yeah,
all
real shit, bro. Real shit. My guy Twan Lorenzo said, in street fights, there are massive amounts of nut shots and eye pokes, but the fighters keep going because there's no ref. I've eye gouged plenty of guys.
So apparently it's one-sided, my boy.
Thumb to the eye in a street fight is crazy effective.
I could imagine.
Hey, I respect it because, yes, there are no rules in a street fight.
Hey, I prefer the dirt, though. Dirt than the fist.
Oh, see. I've had it happen, bro. Not fun. You're going to eat a few shots before you can, get a little bit of vision enough to do something.
Looking like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, just out there on some blood sport shit.
Blood sport. That's a fucking...
Yeah. Absolutely.
Let's wrap this up.
All right, y'all. Well, real quickly.
Before we wrap it up, anybody in the chat, I want you, if you want, we'll give you a few seconds here. If you've got any picks, because I'm tired of you guys talking shit in the chat about my picks. You didn't do it too much today. Sometimes you guys do. And then your picks are fucking dog shit. But I can't look up your picks You just talk shit about my picks.
I feel like it's because you came in humbler, and I assume we're drinking water.
I don't give a fuck. I don't need it. It doesn't matter.
That's why people tend to fucking try and go at you because they just they don't like how fucking
I
pumped
don't
up
give
you
a
are.
buck. The picks are the picks, and the picks are the same either goddamn way.
All right, y'all. Well, real quickly, make sure to like this episode. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Shouts out to everybody who supports views on a weekly basis and just, engages with us. We really appreciate y'all. Make sure, like I said, to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us at Bros Talk MMA on Instagram and TikTok. At Bros Talk MMA. You can follow me on both of those platforms at UTICA_SME. That's UTICA_SME. And, with these guys, you won't find Darren on social media, so don't try to look for him. And I'll just speak for bro here. If you're looking for him, you can follow him if you happen to have a corn hub, an OnlyPans,
a grinder.
What was that?
A grinder.
And things of that nature. So, with that being said, y'all, this has been another episode of Bros Talk MMA. I'm your host, Utica, undeniably the illest cat around, a.k.a. Mr. Make This Pick Real Quick. I'm here with my bro host extraordinaires.
It's your boy Darren T, Mr. Moneymaker, Mr. Never Miss, Mr. Paper Slayer. Let's get out of here, Ray.
Y'all know who it is. It's RayBuck. It's Shackle Jordan. Was Mr. 3 weeks, but will be Mr. 2 weeks here soon. Just give me a little bit. That being said, it is a parlay god. It is the one, the only. Mr. Give me my belt. Hand me my crown.
And until the next
With that
time,
being
y'all.
said, until the next time, we out.